Tales from my D&D campaign.
Previously, Matthew Patel, heir to a wealthy shipbuilding dynasty, the man who had put the 15K bounty on their heads for killing his dumbass son Jimmy. Are you saying he's dead?
All he had to do was keep his mouth shut. But no!
And the two thugs suddenly hulk out.
No, I wasn't supposed...
You wanted power? Power to defeat your enemies? That's what he gave you. Who was he talking about? The Tiger Lord. So after following the secret Warbond tunnel for days, even passing under a major lake, they used a crack in the wall to take an alternate route into this hidden complex, miles beneath the ancient Adar city of Eloia. And while the others are sorting through the chest of dimensional anchor this and mind blank that, Angel scouts ahead and hears some kind of disquieting Fey chant.
Zagato Vimkimro Kagamaga Refodro Olduri Amagano Mistalri Abatro.
And they had no idea what he was cheerfully singing about, but they knew bad stuff was going on here and didn't want any magical rituals being completed or anything. So they charged in, finding a large room with a big-ass crystal in the middle. The singer is an old man in a red cap, carrying a full-length scythe, even though he is a small creature. He is pacing back and forth in front of rows of mutated Warbond Hulks and Warbond Stretchy guys, each with one of those crystals jutting out of their foreheads, including the one lying on the ground in a pool of its own blood, which is eerily similar in color to the old dude's hat, and beard, and scythe. That's a lot of guys. The big ones have over 60 hit points.
The skinny ones are slippery bastards.
What's with the little guy? I think I've heard of them. Just tales or rumors, but they're evil fae called redcaps. Like chaotic serial killer evil.
Butcher's blade, flesh is flayed, blood is freed, a deal is made, your throat will sing, your life I'll take, you'll dance with me till Baal is slaked.
Yeah, okay, roll initiative. The Gumbied-out Warbond villagers have reach, spring attack, and do a big chunk of sneak attack damage if they can get into flanking position, while the hulked-out Warbond villagers do a big chunk of damage all the time. But when the wrinkly little guy stops singing and starts fighting, he's not a spellcaster at all. He is supernaturally strong and fast, like some kind of scythe-wielding Freddy Krueger, with damage reduction. Fortunately, Little One's blade is made of cold iron, the bane of fey creatures, which can hurt the redcap just fine, so they pair up while the others are mostly occupied trying to manage the crowd of stupid monster men. He keeps describing the gems in their foreheads. You think they mean something? I don't know. You could try attacking them directly.
I've got this.
And they find that if they aim for the gems, they can KO these guys like minions, with a single hit, although there's a -4 attack penalty, which arguably makes it worse than the normal way for killing the stretchy guys. But against the Hulks, it makes a huge difference, and Angel and Black start mowing them down, while Draven supports Little One with his crossbow. The redcap is surprisingly tough and utterly ruthless. One turn, he gets himself positioned next to all 3 melee characters, and he activates his weapon's magic whirlwind attack even though it kills 2 of his own guys in the process. But for all his immense strength, dexterity, and constitution, he can't stand up to Little One and Draven for long, and after he dies, they mop up the minions easily. The Scythe's enchantments are more or less the same as Black's Flail. Conceptually an evil version, but statistically the same. The eponymous Red Cap is way more interesting. It grants a +1 Profane bonus to armor class, a rare bonus type that should stack with nearly anything, and because it was a snazzy bowler, it would even fit Draven's wardrobe pretty well, unlike the traditional Smurf-style Red Cap. Even more interesting, Draven determined that the bonus could be gradually increased by drenching it in the blood of freshly slain sentient beings. How many things would we have to kill? It's logarithmic. It's +1 now, so its current bonus took 10 kills. 100 would boost it to +2. 1,000 would get +3. Theoretically, you can even keep going. They don't have to be innocents or good creatures or anything. You can kill whatever you want for it. Although there's no way to tell how close it is to hitting +2, except the hard way. That thing must be like super evil.
And stink.
It smells pretty sickening when the blood is fresh, but that only lasts a few rounds until the essence has been absorbed, at which point it looks, smells, and feels like ordinary crimson fabric. And Draven couldn't detect any curse or other property of the hat which would prevent him from using it, or which would corrupt the wearer, but it definitely does emanate evil. If it could hit even +2, it'd be a powerful item. Say it's halfway there, that'd be 50 kills, which is doable. It'd take forever to get to +3. And also it's evil. And also it's evil. It's a hard choice, but in the end, nobody wants to wear the evil hat of evil awesomeness. So Draven plans to disenchant it for a little crafting XP later on. For now, though, that last fight had hurt them a lot, and they had taken some damage and some dispelling from the earlier golem. So by the time Draven's Wand of Cure Light Wounds and Black's Divine Magic heal everyone, they are pretty low on spells. But they push onward. One doorway just leads to an antechamber where they find that wooden door they had seen from the other side. This room is part of the original ancient structure, but the shabby wooden door is a recent addition. Anyway, they double back, and guided by some roguish instinct, Angel starts searching for traps, and indeed finds that the stairway has some magical trigger which she is unable to disarm.
If it's traps, that's obviously the way we should go.
Or we could not trigger the trap. I'm pretty much out of healing.
How bad can it be? If I can't disable it, it's probably powerful. I had a pretty good die roll.
Let's explore the other way first. And in the next room, across a chasm full of random-looking huge crystals, they come face to face with an Umber Hulk, an old-school D&D beast which couples brute force with a confusion gaze. But they all make their will saves and start kicking its insectoid ass, because in a straight-up fight, it's nothing compared to the last room, except a much smaller bug-like head sticks out of its back and tries to mind-control Little One. He manages to fight off that spell too, but in the second round, the confusion gaze finally gets him, just in time to make no difference at all, as Draven killsteals the wounded Umber Hulk, and Black and Angel dig out the Neogi, which was burrowed in its back. This thing must be intelligent. Are we talking to it? The room is full of surgical tables, with people on them. And forehead crystals.
Also, he casts Dominate. Purple Monkey Dishwasher. Still confused, huh? Rabble-dabble.
Mind control. Bad. 3 of the 4 villagers unconscious on the operating tables have freshly inserted crystals in their foreheads. The heroes had established by this point that once the crystal was triggered, once the Warbond villager transformed, they lose their mind permanently, becoming subservient to the evil forces. Well, can we remove them? You know or can figure out a lot about magic. You may have more difficulty with the, surgery part. Long story short, with Black using his heal skill and Draven using his arcane knowledge, they try to extract the crystals from the victims' heads. Their first attempt fails, and the victim dies. But they don't give up, succeeding on the second try, and using that experience to save the third man more easily. Meanwhile, Angel is scouting another staircase leading up, this one untrapped, and she hears voices coming from the floor above. My research is essentially complete, and the augmented army venture has been completely compromised. There is no longer any compelling reason to remain here. That one sounds like he's at the top of this staircase. The other voices sound a little distant. I concur. Your research is done. We should bring you back. The outside group will be upon me any moment now.
According to your fate matrix, you will almost certainly be destroyed in a direct confrontation with them,
while inflicting a mere 1.5 casualties in return.
That is unacceptable. Lord Kintamazu is worth far more to us than 1 or 2 antagonists. I agree, of course. There is nothing here worth dying for. And Angel silently informs the others, using the message spell. 1.5 casualties?
Their guy knows he can't beat us.
Yeah, but they're just calculating the outcome.
Or divining or something. Or they're full of crap like every other overconfident.
Are they overconfident? Guys like the Drow or the freaks out front always think they can beat anyone. That's overconfidence. These guys know they will lose. But they expect to kill 1.5 of us.
I need both my halves.
Something about the enemy's calm detachment made their words so disturbing. This was quite possibly the most unnerving situation they had ever run into. Little One positioned himself on the stairs, ready for action, but they continued to listen while Draven and Black finished healing up the last villager.
Can they be reasoned with?
Our fate data on these ones is very incomplete. We can only read their reflection in Lord Kintamazu's matrix, and a battle appears most likely. They don't appear to hold their own lives in very high regard.
If they kill my brother, they will regret it. Fate data, is this something I would know about? No, you have no clue what they are talking about. 1.5.
Stop saying that. Whatever their deal is, if this is that Tiger Lord guy, he's responsible for all the evil crap that's been going on here.
Can't argue that, but he sounds like a talker. Maybe we can learn more before we attack.
That's fine, but he starts anything that might be a spell, I'm going to perform my own version of head surgery on him.
So they surge up the stairs to find one actual Rakshasa standing in the midst of 4 crystalline pillars of different colors. The other 3 voices were some kind of illusion-based method of communication. Holograms. Greetings. I must apologize for the actions of the monsters you dealt with. It is regrettable that we have become associated with such beings.
Those killers were working for you.
You are misinterpreting the relationship.
Are you familiar with Fey bargains?
In general?
Sure. You can think of us as investors in such bargains. However, what you have seen here is the result of several such investments which have gone wrong. Obligations which could not be avoided. An error.
You can be assured that we will have no further dealings with Nyogi or with Redcaps.
Yes, quite right. Their goals are too destructive to reconcile.
So you made some deals to help psychopaths mutate people?
Is there money in that?
The situation is more complex. The people of Hengao felt powerless to avenge their ancestors. They believed they were willing to sacrifice anything for the slimmest chance to fight back.
So you hand them over to monsters to pay off your other debts?
The arrangement went ill, and you have now resolved it.
12 people are dead. That we know of.
It is regrettable.
We will do no more harm here. All we want now is Lord Kintamazu's safe return.
And we just let you go?
What about justice?
Justice is subjective. These villagers believe they seek justice, and it has brought them nothing but sorrow.
Because of you guys. We aren't just letting him go.
What is a large amount of coins to them?
We do have access to just over 14,000 gold that the bank manager was able to stash before being captured.
Yes, we'll give you 14,000 coins.
Gold coin.
Whatever. 14,000 gold, if you return Lord Kitamazu to our portal.
Unharmed.
14,000 gold is not bad. So, this guy must have some gear.
It seems a fair price. All we ask is the safe return of one of our own. He will cause you no further trouble, whereas if you fight him, one of you will surely die.
1.5 casualties, as estimated by Lord Kintamazu's fate matrix.
One of your lives for his. A poor trade for us, to be sure. But do you value your lives so little?
No, he can't just walk out of this. 5 minutes ago, you guys were struggling to remove brain crystals. The other room is full of dead guys. I don't care if they volunteered. The guy we met in the street did not want what they did to him.
And if Little One's going in, the others have to take his back, because as much as they are unsure about what to do, they know Little One is not wrong. The Rakshasa wins the initiative, and the colored crystals glow, stacking shields of temporary hit points on him, but he's still talking. What if, instead, we were able to cure one of you of your astral affliction?
What? How does he know about that?
So that's the strange signature I perceived. No wonder.
Don't blame yourself, Lady Hazumura. It's obvious in person, but diffracted through my own matrix it would be difficult to discern. My brother and I have a significant accumulation of personal karma between us, sufficient to permanently and safely cure one of you of your affliction. That spiritling you carry is weakening. You will very soon begin to feel the effects of your condition. It is not pleasant for mortals.
Mortals? Are these guys supposed to be immortals? Or gods or something?
He probably means it in the sense that you are not spirits.
Cure one of us? What are the rest supposed to do?
We would still need to find a cure. Unswayed, Little One comes in with a massively powerful attack, but the first 20 damage is absorbed by the shields from the pillars, and the rest fails to penetrate Lord Kintamazu's powerful innate damage reduction. Draven casts a buff, Black charges, and Angel Wall runs into sneak attack position, but even with the shields gone, the cleric's attack doesn't do enough to get through the DR, and likewise, sneak attack doesn't apply unless the rest of the attack breaks through first. So after one round, they've done absolutely nothing to the Rakshasa except a tiny bit of fire and electrical damage from magic weapons. For his part, Kintamazu seems hesitant to go on offense. For now, he casts a psionic power to increase the gravity around him. Everyone saves so they don't get knocked down, but they are still slowed for one round. Then 2 of the pillars activate, teleporting him a short distance to land between those 2, which takes him out of range of all the melee people. The other 2 pillars make ineffective elemental attacks against the nearest PCs, but each of the 4 pillars refreshes 5 hit points worth of shields for the Rakshasa. If you kill my brother now, if you are willing to pay 14,000 gold and suffer the plague just to kill him, even though his task has failed and ended, then I will make a significant expenditure of karma. I will alter your very reality, and your fate will become your doom.
I fear they lack the ability to properly value the threat you are making, Lord Kinekoro.
And because they are slowed, the PCs can't both move and attack, but Little One and Angel flank him to at least pin him down, while Black casts a big spell he's been saving, evoking a lance of destructive sonic energy at the Rakshasa, and watching it fizzle against his massive spell resistance. But Raven casts Bane Outsiders on Black's flail so that he'll be able to overcome the enemy's damage reduction by brute force in future rounds.
Your matrix is nearing alignment.
Yes, the critical point is approaching. His crystal shields did not increase since they hadn't been damaged last round. Apparently 20 temporary hit points was their maximum. But this round he actually attacks, firing a spray of razor-sharp psionically conjured crystals. And 2 of the pillars attacked and missed again, but he used the other 2 to teleport himself between them as before. Can he do that every goddamn round? At least you aren't slowed anymore. You can hit him this time. And this round, Little One holds his action, letting Angel and Black attack first. Sneak attack may not work against the crystal shields, but based on what they've seen in the first round, anything could damage the temporary hit points before the damage reduction came into play. So Black's temporarily baned flail crushed the barrier, and Angel lashed away the remaining shields so that Little One's DR bypassing mountain hammer could do its full damage to the Rakshasa, hitting for almost 30.
Your options are fading.
And suddenly Black's like, you give us your aid in one battle of our choosing, and instead of curing one, you protect all of us from the plague, like how we were already protected. Huh? Are we negotiating again?
Is that okay? It just came to me.
To protect all 5 of you from the fate of the Atarans.
Impossible! What my fellow Rajas do with their own personal karma is their business. I understand their desire not to be separated, but I cannot authorize an expenditure from the great pool for this. Even the life of a Raj is trivial compared to the ultimate cause. I know Lords Kinekoro and Kintamazu would concur.
Cure, no, but to protect. It may be possible to empower the Spiritling using our personal karma.
It should be possible to extend its shielding ability for 6 months.
Possibly longer. If we're negotiating again, we want the gold too.
Whatever. It is mere physical currency. If needed, we can procure it elsewhere.
And nobody, possibly including himself, had expected Black to broker an agreement in the middle of combat, but the Rakshasas seemed open to his demands, and the others felt weird enough about the whole situation that they weren't certain what to do. If you will allow me, I can bestow enough aid right now for your Spiritling to hold out an additional 2 weeks or more. Lady Hazumura and I are confident that a minimum of 6 months is possible, but I will need time to research with my fellow Rajas, and for Lord Kinekoro and I to pool our karma. How can we trust these guys?
It feels like their whole thing is making and keeping deals, and they claim they stuck with the bad guys' deals even though they didn't like it.
They did know enough about the space aids to recognize it. I bet he can do what he says. Rakshasas have a bad reputation, but these guys don't act like the stories I've heard at all. For one thing, they're shapeshifters. There's no reason they had to appear in their true forms. The party tentatively accepts the bargain. Lord Kintamazu gives them a special crystal that can be used to contact the Rakshasas to request their aid in battle, with some limitations. Obviously, we can't instantly reach you from the Feywild for physical assistance. In order for us to assist you in person, we would need you to contact us at least 2 or 3 days in advance, or a week to be certain. And it would not be me. I'm more of a researcher. We would send Lord Kinekoro, who is far more capable in that area. Obviously, it's quite possible you would have no warning of the battle in which you require our assistance. We can provide a very significant boon without joining you personally. However, even then, you should not wait until you are on death's door. The sooner you call for our aid, the better your chances of survival. So where's your portal?
It lies hidden in the Lyric countryside, several days away.
The Rakshasa shows them a staircase which leads over a mile upwards to the lowest levels of Eloia, the abandoned Adar city on the island. But it is common knowledge that the island is protected by the Psionic Academy, who may ask a lot of awkward questions, so they elect to go the long way, taking several extra days to leave via the tunnel before heading to the portal spot. Their half-prisoner, half-partner shows them where the portal will be, then tells them where the gold is hidden, in a tree several hours from that spot. Little One and Angel want to haul Kintomazu over there to make sure he isn't lying, but Draven and Black convince them to let him go now. They've built up something of a rapport over the week of travel, and for good or for ill, they feel like these Rajas, as they call themselves, can be trusted, at least in the letter of the agreement sense, and that it may be wise to cultivate a relationship with them. So a planar portal is open from the other side, and Lord Kintomazu bids them farewell. Then they rush over to a certain tree, where Little One spots a bag hidden with some kind of invisibility ward, and inside they find just over 14,000 gold worth of certified negotiable gemstones. Well, they didn't lie about that. No, but they thought we'd check it with a knife to their guy's throat. I still wouldn't trust them. But they need to stop getting sidetracked, and get those spoons to Vistria. Next time, on Tales from My D&D Campaign. Since this is the last episode of 2013, I just want to thank my excellent players for making everything awesome, as well as ORESTRIA for helping add some proper female voices where called for, because my angel voice is bad enough already. And I really want to thank all of you for watching and subscribing, and for all the great and shockingly positive comments I've gotten on my channel. The only thing more I would ask of you is, if you know anyone who might like these videos, please share them around. Give the gift of TDDC this holiday season. It's free. Happy New Year.